So I want to go ahead and talk about this now because it's been sitting in the back of my mind. I was going to save this until quite a bit later, but it's already been brought up several times. So let's talk about why Atris and Nihilus are the poster childs of this game. Obviously, there's some obvious marketing going on with there. Nihilus is... You want a big, obvious person to be the bad guy and a big, obvious person to be the good guy, right? Atris is wearing white robes and uses the light side of the Force, so duh. Nihilus is wearing black robes and has the skull mask and dark side of the Force. So it's obvious, right? See, here's the catch, though. As we know, Atris is not a good guy. And Nihilus isn't a guy. So this doesn't actually fit when you think about it. Except, it really does. Both of them highlight two things that are important to the overall theme of the game. Point number one, as I already mentioned, yes, it's worth noting that, with these big, wonderful, amazing, empire-spanning, galaxy-destroying wars... You actually, there's a point behind it, right? It's not like it's wasteful. You do need to stop the big bad. You do need to save the galaxy. That's something you have to do. It's something that's mandatory. Yes, but...
They were leftovers.
I know, but I didn't feel like it. I was feeling kind of woozy and sick, and so I wanted something that didn't make me feel woozy and sick. Because I didn't get much sleep. Yeah, I don't know what's up with the chat. Anyways, so yes, you have to fight those wars. You have to fight the Sith Empire. You have to defeat the the Galactic Empire. You have to defeat the Exar Kun forces. But whether it is a good fight or not, whether it is a valid fight or not, is irrelevant, because it still causes a huge mess. That's the point. That's one of the biggest things KoTOR 2 analyzes. Yeah, it's all good and fine to be in the middle of the battle, but you're going to wreck the galaxy when you're doing it. And trying to pick up the pieces is one of the biggest things that happens in KoTOR 2, right? The second significant point here is KoTOR 1 introduced the idea that dark is not good, necessarily bad, and light is not necessarily good. KoTOR 2 ran with it. And so in KoTOR 2, we see Atris, who is the biggest and most proponent advocate of the light. Well, you already know where that's going, right? Then we see Nihilus, who is the biggest proponent of the dark, who is, as I already said, not even a person anymore. Really just a thing to be pitied. So, yeah, like I said, I feel like the deliberate usage of Atris and Nihilus as the poster childs make perfect sense, because both of them are very broken individuals. Both of them are very significant of several of the main themes of the game. And both of them are one of the great things that Chris Avellone has always done. You look at it and it's like, ha, this is something that's, that's A. But then you think about it, look at it, and it's actually B. So it services in both versions, right? I don't know what the hell's up with the chat plugin today. So, moving on. Did I already do this one?
We managed to get to the dormitory.
Yeah, okay.
The situation's worse than we thought. Even if we get out of here, we can't shut down the fuel depot force fields if a fuel leak was detected. If so, the only way off this...
Okay, we already did that one. Sorry.
Managed to use the holo transmitter here as a crude relay to beam short burst transmissions outside the Paragas facility. With any luck, the transmission will carry beyond the asteroid field. We've set the emergency transmission on automatic playback. We're using a simple military flash code to transmit the code to the turbolifts, so maybe our rescuers can get down to the dormitory when they reach the station. Without those turbolift codes, our rescuers wouldn't be able to get here from the administration level. And without those codes, we wouldn't be able to get to the administration level if we found a way out on our own. The messages are short distress calls only, since we can't get much signal strength. It's pretty weak. So unless a ship is actively searching the area, it might be a long time before a ship picks up the message. After all, who would be scouring frequencies way out here looking for trouble?
Hope you paid attention to the significance of that conversation. Hint, hint, that's how Scion found us. This one.
What did you want to talk to me about? I have to suit up and drill the 3219K asteroid claim within the hour, so talk quick.
I heard you had plans for the Jedi, about selling him to the exchange.
Yeah, but security already set their piece on that, didn't they? Nobody's getting sold to anyone.
Are they? I've seen the logs you've been accessing. Maybe the two of us could work something out.
It doesn't matter what we work out. We wouldn't make one hyperspace jump before what's left of the Republic was on us.
If you have a way off this station, I can cover our tracks and ensure the Republic is not alerted to our presence.
Well, I may know someone. Works the system on special jobs. He may want to know details, but I might be able to arrange transport.
I've seen the logs. I know you've already asked him and given the details. Once he agrees, I can handle the rest.
Handle the rest? Like how?
When the time comes, I'll contact you via comlink. Maintenance out.
Since when did the maintenance officer grow some horns?
The transmission gives the code to open the turbo lift when or if help arrives. Code is a simple group of 5 numbers. The transmission gives the code to open the turbo lift when or if help arrives. Code is a simple group of 5 numbers. 3, 17, 13, then the next 2 numbers are...
Feel disappointed. I actually wrote down the code, but I just had to punch in intelligence. 7513-173, or the reverse of that. Hello, Darth. I mean, Kreia. Oh, damn it. Really? Really? When did I save last?
If we cannot...
Hang on. When did I save? Well, I'll use this one. Do a quick save just to be sure. I don't remember encountering this bug this often. Jeez Louise.
I have felt a disturbance. Our enemy is here. We must leave at once.
Enemy?
The one that fired upon the Ebon Hawk as we attempted to rescue you. And he will not let
Oh, is it
us go
Django?
without blood being shed.
Thank God. That's probably why I don't remember it being... I mean, I recognized the bug, but I didn't remember it being that prolific.
We need to make our way to the docking area on this level. I fear the airlock has already opened, and if so, we must be on our guard. If we cannot reach the Ebon Hawk, then we must find a way to escape on the ship that is docked here.
So... One of the things that I find really well done, even though it's kind of ludicrous in how OP it is, but it's just great for atmosphere, so I'm partially okay with it and I'm partially irritated by it, is the stealth fields that the assassins use. For those of you not aware of it, earlier when Scion was... When Scion was there and he was like, hey, I'm sitting alone in this ship that's just running by itself. The impression we're given, based on the way he's kneeling, is that he's literally controlling the ship through the Force, which is impressive in its own right, but that's not actually what's happening. Because he actually has, there were people in stealth fields, in the controls, still stealthed, running the ship. Which is kind of ludicrous, but whatever. So yeah, it's just bizarre because not only is their stealth field insanely good, but they keep it on like all the time. So it's one of those things. I've talked about this a lot in my Star Trek Voyager ruminations. If you're going to do something stupid, as long as you're doing it for a good purpose, I'm okay with it. And this is something that's kind of silly, but I'm okay with it because they do something good with it, and that is they really add to the atmosphere of a lot of these scenes. For example, she makes a point of saying the airlock door is opened, and your first reaction is, okay, so why does that matter? And the camera lingers there for a few seconds, even though we see nothing going through it. On repeat playthroughs, we can tell exactly what's happening, because they're already coming through, right? At least scouting out. So, yeah, it's a nice little touch, even if it's a little silly. Okay, where are we going? Oh yeah, we gotta go get At and Rand. And then we gotta kill the Disciple and kill Hanhar. Yeah, see, they were right there with us. With their super stealth. Super stealth, excuse me. Fine, we'll equip Kreia. God, I can remember how to do that. Oh, right. We've got plenty of swords, so we'll give you the Vibro Cutter. It has been implied that way, yes, Rigel. Because at least I always got that implication from it. It's not just the stealth fields being perfect sneak, that they also have, in gaming equivalents, a high sneak skill. Kind of like Fallout does it, actually. I know a stealth boy is great and all, but if you don't have a high stealth skill, they'll still see you, right? So it's that kind of a thing. They have this ability to help cloak themselves, basically. That's another reason I'm admittedly okay with it. They don't have like a perfect stealth field, which has basically never been done in Star Wars. In fact, it's actually been a plot point in several games and books that cloaks are basically useless, and trying to find an actual good use for a cloak is extremely difficult, because they have cloaking technology. It works. It just works too well because it's a two-way cloak. So, yeah. You know what? Why don't we give her... Oh, actually, I don't want to give her one of my lightsabers. Screw that. We do need to level her, though. Okay. Why don't we give you... Yes. Don't care. I want you to be a certain thing. Hang on, where's... I don't have all these icons memorized like I do over in KoTOR 1, so I'm trying to find the abilities I want. Okay, there we go. So that's going to be... Yeah, but we can't even... Jeez Louise. Okay, let's get... Yes, that one. And I want to set up your AI. If I can remember where I can do that. I know there's a place I can do that at. Whatever, hang on. Don't care. Can't get any of the powers I actually want. Oh, that's right, Django. You're right, you're right. Yeah, I can't get anything I actually want yet. There we go. No. Okay.
What in space is going on? Who's this? Another Jedi?
Hey, the ship's there.
What, did you guys suddenly start breeding when I wasn't looking? Alright. I'm guessing that Republic ship that just docked isn't carrying friends of yours.
I hope your talent for understatement is offset by your skill with a blaster. If not, then I fear our time together will be short indeed.
Yeah, and I'm also good at running and drinking, Your Majesty. And even if you two aren't big friends of the Republic, That warship's the only way off this station. Good thing we have a clear run to the ship.
Threat. Master, perhaps I did not enunciate clearly the last time we spoke. I suggested that you should shut down, stay put, and wait for rescue.
No, you were clear. I just don't listen to assassin droids.
Clarification. Assassin droid is such a crude term, Master, reserved for Durasteel drones uploaded with only the most archaic kill programs. The function I perform has been referred to as wanton slaughter. I prefer to see it as a means of facilitating communication, resulting in the termination of hostilities.
Oh, sorry, guys. Spoiler alert.
Correction. I am not here to argue semantics, Master, so I will simply inform you that you are wrong, as were those recently corrected miners. Indignant answer. Master, the miners intended to place you in jeopardy. I could not allow that to take place, so I was forced to negotiate a termination of hostilities. After reprogramming the mining droids to mine any organics they perceived, they began to kill the miners one by one. Then a series of flawlessly timed explosions drove the miners into their dormitories, where I was able to gas them all at once without wasting time hunting them through the mining tunnels. I then administered a large dose of sedatives to the remaining miners in the med bay, enough to kill them, but ensure you slept peacefully. Of course, against my calculations, you awakened from your tank prematurely. I am ashamed by the inconvenience that caused for both of us.
From now on, I'm going to start saying, I want to negotiate a termination of hostilities in my life.
Answer? You misunderstand me, Master. Those droids were there to guard you. As I said, I did not anticipate you awakening from the tank. You are quite a hardy specimen for a Jedi. A wrong-toe among humans, if you will indulge me the metaphor. Besides, as you proved, Master, such droids could never pose a threat to a Jedi. The droids were custodial in nature, cleaning the facility of other distractions.
So not only is he elitist towards organics, he's elitist towards other droids, which is funny because HK-47 is the same way, too.
Answer. It is beyond the scope of my programming to probe the motivations of my clients, Master. Suffice to say that I am being well compensated for my services. You have been a difficult target to find. You have been wandering the galaxy since the end of the Mandalorian Wars, leaving little record of your passage. It is as if you did not wish to be found by hunters such as myself, or more likely, the Jedi Order. Admission. It was a matter of chance, Master. I happened to be serving as a protocol droid on the Harbinger when you booked passage. After that, it was a simple matter to sabotage the Harbinger and call for a retrieval. Irritated statement. However, when the Ebon Hawk appeared and salvaged us from the wreckage, I was forced into a series of rapid recalculations, culminating in our current situation. Chiding answer. My programming renders me incapable of revealing the identity of my client, Master. However, I am free to say that my client is wealthy and very interested in possessing the last of the Jedi.
I actually think it makes sense for a droid to do bounties because droids, especially sentient droids, have just as much use for credits as we do. I mean, they may not need food and things like that, but there's still things droids enjoy, and there's still things they want, and they can upgrade themselves and make servants, all sorts of fun stuff like that. Remember, droids people, right? At least the longer they're alive. Of course, IG-88 is kind of a different situation because IG-88 was trying to take over the galaxy. Long story, but yeah.
Answer. No, Master. Killing you was never the intention. If you resist my attempts to return you to your KoTOR tank, however, I may inadvertently fracture your skeleton in several places to incapacitate you.
Now, it's funny you say that next level games, because the prevailing theory is, of course, that HK-50 was hired by GoTo. because there's a long-standing bounty on the Jedi. But if you think about it, that actually doesn't make sense, because he mentions he's been looking for him for some time, and that bounty is somewhat recent. And he was specifically looking for this Jedi, not just a Jedi. So we know that the other HK-50s are sicked on us by them, but this HK, there's enough of a hint that someone specifically who wasn't KoTOR hired this HK, this one, to come after us, well before the events of KoTOR's plan to gather the Jedi together. Whether that's true or not is debatable, but it really wouldn't... apparently this is going to be in the restored content stuff. It really wouldn't surprise me if there's something else driving this particular HK to go after us in specific, as opposed to just a Jedi. I'm sorry, I hate to do this again, but I'll be right back again. I'm not feeling well. I'll be right back, guys.